Hey everybody, that's better. I set up the Facebook Live and then it's like, you need to rotate your phone. So I guess you can do it in the wide style, you just can't do it in the wide style after you start it the other way. So yeah, day one of the 21-day vegan detox, and I'm making miso soup. So it says to start out just by taking 2 cups of water and bringing that to a boil. No problem, that's easy. Now we have one of these fancy stovetops, and not many of us have ever gotten this to work because it's like induction top. So you have to have a certain pan, but once you have the right kind of pan on there, it kind of like automatically, well, it transfers the energy right away to that pan. In fact, I can feel it kind of like bouncing a little bit, and it like instantly starts heating up the water. So that will work a lot nicer and quicker than normal. You can see my hair is wet, so I actually did get a chance to shower today. Day one, and I've been doing a lot of this Zevia Cola with caffeine, and I'll have a beer or two throughout the day, and I'm going crazy today, like without the caffeine to like get me going, and then without like an alcohol drink if I feel crazy. So it's been challenging today, to say the least. But that's the point of this, right? And that's why I'm telling myself and everybody in the group, hey, you might be struggling, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. That's what we expect. And so just commit to getting through those first 4 days. Then you will know what it feels like, you'll know what's going on, and if you decide to change things up and go back to normal way, whatever, you can do it. But let's at least give ourselves 4 days to do this wholeheartedly. All right, so for the miso paste, next thing we need is 1 teaspoon of miso paste mixed with 2 to 3 teaspoons of hot water. Well, I'm about to pour it in the water, so we really don't have to do that. But 1 tablespoon of miso paste. And I guess you probably can't see it from there, but this water is already boiling. Like, how quick was that? It took like a minute, and the water's like completely boiling. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to turn it down here. And that was nice. The miso paste kind of fell right off of the spoon once it got in the hot water. So just stir that up to get that going around everywhere. Miso paste is one of those things that's kind of hard to find when you're doing this diet. And this is the one that I look for. They have this at Whole Foods, like the national Whole Foods, not the local co-op. And there's different colors. For some reason, I chose to get red this time. No biggie. 2 tablespoons of dried Joachim seaweed. So this is another one that's challenging to find. Not every grocery stores have this, but at Amazon's Whole Food, they definitely do have this. And this makes it so much nicer and easier. Really just take out the dried seaweed. You can measure that. You want to use a dry spoon for this, but take just 2 tablespoons of your dried seaweed now into your warm soup. And again, I'm making sure to stir that just to get all the miso paste fully dissolved. And 2nd tablespoon. And it looks really small going in. Like if you look at the seaweed, a tablespoon like looks like not much at all, but as soon as this hits water, like it fully unevaporates or evaporates, however you say that, hydrates, and it becomes those long stems that you're used to in miso soup. So yeah, I'm looking at this already. The miso paste is already fully disintegrated. It turns back into green. It's not red like out of the box. and the seaweed now is almost full size. So we just got to give that a little bit more time to cool down. Next it says 1 green onion sliced thinly, and that's kind of just for looks or taste, but I have green onion. I normally don't always have it, but today we do. This is one of those products that you buy the first time and then you don't necessarily buy it every time you do the reset because it's almost just for decoration, but it'll add a little flavor and a little decoration to the miso. It'll make it look just like you're at a nice sushi restaurant. So get that out. Take our cutting board. Find a sharp knife. And then just cut up some of that green onion, just like you'd see when you go out to get soup, like I say, at a Japanese, Asian restaurant. I guess this is a healthier way to get some of your greens in throughout the day. Like, if it's in the soup, you're not going to taste it nearly as much as you would in your salad. So it's a good way to add extra greens to what you're eating. And it looks awesome, nice, cool. This is nice because it's the induction top, right? I can touch the top, even on the burner, and it's not hot because it only transmits the heat to the pan, not to your hand. So pretty neat. We had the oven for, I don't know, however long, 6 months or so, and a couple of us tried to use it, but we couldn't get it to work because of we had the wrong pans. So last time I did the reset, I sat down here and I'm like, I'm gonna try every pan in the house until we get one that works, or go out and buy new pans if necessary. So now we have it working, and it is super nice that it cooks so quickly. Hey Carrie, good to see you on. So bring the water to boil in a saucepan over medium heat. Turn off the heat. Add miso paste, seaweed, and green onion. Let sit for 3-5 minutes. Stir and serve hot. So it's basically already ready. We've had it a couple minutes in there, and let me bring this over to show you. You can see how big the seaweed has turned into. So this is going to be a real hearty seaweed soup. Miso soup, sorry. You see the stove started warning me. As soon as you take the pan off, it's like, hey, no pan. So I'm going to turn off now, but that's not what we want. So we had to return the pan very quickly. Okay, that's basically it for the miso soup. And again, part of the reason I do this is like, well, how many people love miso soup? Yeah, everybody. I do, at least. You always get it when you go out for sushi, and it seems like it's some big thing, but literally takes 2 minutes. And if you guys watch me do it, you're like, wow, Jason is obviously not a professional chef, but it's like, if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's the idea here, show you how easy it is to eat a cleansing detox diet and transition into a vegan lifestyle if you want to do that temporary, just to see how it makes you feel, or kind of recover from an illness or something. Or if you decide to do it for 21 days, figure out all these meals, which ones you like, and then stick with the ones you like over time. So again, I'm coming off doing the reset, about 3 weeks ago I finished up my 3 weeks ago I finished up my 3-week journey. And I think I've had like one bite of my wife's steak. I didn't want to order steak. And I honestly had a pretzel hot dog, which sounds disgusting, but it's like a guilty pleasure of mine when I shop at the malls or whatever. Oh, it's so delicious with mustard. Get out of here. And that's the extent of like the red meat that I've had. since the reset. Not because like I'm trying to prevent myself from eating it. It just didn't look good. Like when I think about meat, I just think about rotten flesh, right? And so it's not sounding awesome to me right now. I had a lot of seafood, shrimp, oyster, and fish of every variety. And not like a lot, maybe like every other night when we go out, like I've been choosing, well, a couple times a week we go out to eat. And I've just been choosing the fish options. And that's been fine for me. Like hasn't caused any feelings of withdrawal. I haven't wanted the steaks or anything. Now going forward, what's my plan? Yeah, if I'm out at a great steak restaurant and the filet I know there is awesome, like I'm gonna go for filet. But in the meantime, that 80% of the other time, I want to be eating this clean, good lifestyle for longevity, health, and whatever else. And you watch this short little video, you see how easy it is to make the miso soup. It's probably still too hot for me. Yeah, that's a little bit too hot. But yeah, that's as good, if not better, than any restaurant I've ever been to. So how cool is it that you can have a new staple in your diet that you like, you make yourself, easy to do, and that's what this is all about. All right, cheers everybody.